if you are going to Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, what we've decided to do today on this glorious day here in St Andrews is go paddleboarding. So Connie's in the background there just pumping up her Dual-Look board. It's a board that you get on Amazon. Not sure it's branded or what. And there's mine already pumped up. So mine, I want to talk a little bit about it today actually. Mine's a Q-Rock 11'4". It's a crossover board, which whatever that means. I think it's to do with flat cam and some immediate, well, moderate sea conditions. So it's a wee bit longer. Obviously I needed a longer board when I was a bit heavier. So we're just away to basically get ready once Connie's fully inflated her board, and then we'll get out on the water. I'm hoping to get some footage today. I've got a wee case that I can put my phone in, keep it dry. So yeah, we'll get out there, try and get some footage of us splashing about and having a bit of fun here.
I don't know what I'm doing. Look at him go! Struggle.
Right, get on. Yeah, you have to be able to get on. Yeah, go. Just jump on. You're going in. There goes Connie. Eventually she got on the board, guys. And off she goes to Norway. Connie, stay in Scottish waters. So as you've just seen yesterday, me and Connie did a spot of paddleboarding. Needed a little bit of an escape. So what I haven't said up until now is me and the wife went out on the Xj900 that you've seen on the channel, the white one, and we'd gone all the way up to Montrose, up the coast, and on the way back we were experiencing a little bit of sluggishness on the throttle. Couldn't quite figure out what it was. Pulled over at a petrol station in a wee town called Arbroath, also on the east coast, and I discovered that there was leakage down the side of the engine, and I will put a photo in here of that. It turns out that, so you've got the bank of 4 carbs, inline 4 obviously, and one of the cylinders, the inlet rubber, easy for me to say, the inlet rubber seemed to be perished and leaking. So the bike hasn't been getting a lot of use the last few years, and as a result it does need a little bit of maintenance. As previously shown on this channel, I did the exhaust and the header pipes and whatnot, but yeah, this perished rubber, and I kind of knew that they were on their way out. They're one of the prettiest, but they are quite expensive to purchase. Fortunately, I've got a spare engine in the other garage, so I went and took the inlet rubbers off of that, and they seem to be in much better condition. So today, following yesterday's paddleboarding, which was absolutely fantastic, and I'm showing that, obviously you've just seen that there at the beginning of this video, but yeah, we had a great day, and I could have been working on the bike, but sometimes you just need to take a little bit of time out and a wee bit of relaxation before you get your hands dirty again. So today I'm back at the lockup, another great day. We could be out doing fun things, but the bike's not going to fix itself, let's face it. So sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, roll up your sleeves or wear a t-shirt, and then go and get things fixed again. So today I'm going to sort of take the petrol tank off and that, and I have had a look. It's absolutely manky in there. The rocker cover's going to come off as well. There's a lot of like overspray and stuff on that rocker cover that I'll let you see it obviously when I take it off, but yeah, let's get in the garage, let's get started, and let's get these rubbers changed, because while the weather's shining like this, you don't want your bike to be off the road. This is my main bike for riding, and yeah, let's do it. Right, so I've got the bike out. I do get myself a wee bit overwhelmed with projects. I've got so much stuff on the go, as you know. So kind of a bit disappointed that this bike's actually gone through a considerable, what I would say, breakdown. But we'll get this fixed as soon as possible, and hopefully get out on it in the next couple of days. There's a lot of seepage of fuel around the HT leads and everything, and I'm going to turn the camera around and let you guys see that. Not entirely sure how well this is going to show up, but you can see this. This is the rubber here in question. It's kind of wet. There's a lot of dirt and grime there. So yeah, we'll get this all stripped down. I think it's needing a lot of cleaning more than anything, but the other rubbers, the other three, look okay. And despite the fact that I've got 4 spares, I'm just going to change the one in question just now, so I don't disrupt anything that seems, for the time being, to be in working order. So let's, I think first thing first is I'll sort the lockup up, get this in at the back, and then we'll start taking it apart. So the Virago's been sort of left on the back burner for now. We've had a few issues with this since we got it, and I think the next thing we're going to be investigating is the fuel pump. So I'm just going to get this out, and we'll put the Xj900 up here at the back. I've got more room to walk around. Obviously my dad's bike's sitting there, so we'll have the 2 bikes in there at the entrance, and then the Xj900 here. We can start sort of taking parts off it. We also had on the channel, so we also had on the channel, and I did a little bit of coverage on it, was a CB100N from 1979, I think it was. I thought it was a 1980, but it was actually a 79 model. And yeah, I started working on that in my back garden and stuff, and we're in August now, and I hadn't got around to touching it again, so I did just list that on an auction site, and we kind of cleared that out. Because I just wasn't finding the time. I've got so much stuff going on with the van, the Virago, the 900. Want to do a bit of polishing and stuff on my dad's Harley Davidson 883. So yeah, the CB100, we've passed that on to a new owner. He came and collected just the other day. Kind of local, Edinburgh guy, but apparently he does the little bikes. He's got a garage at the side of his house. So he's going to give that a full restoration. So it's the right type of person, rather than it just sitting in my shed and me not getting the time to go to it. So yeah, it's created a little bit of space for me, if nothing else. So yeah, let's get this bike out and get the Xj900 in here. And first things first, get the petrol tank off.
What, on the stand or lean it against the side? Or? Well, I'll put it on the stand.
It's a big heavy bike, this one. So it's fairly simple to get the petrol tank off of these. You've got a bolt at the back, a bolt at the front. Obviously you have to turn the tap, which is underneath the tank on this, to the off position. You've got the fuel hose and one little electrical connection, and then that tank just lifts straight out. So my air filter, so the clamps that go onto the 4 carbs, when I was checking this out the other day, they were already loosened off, so I should be able to just lift this free. I did, however, put the retaining bolt back in the front so I didn't lose it. So it's not going to lift through until I get that out. And that's just a little 10mm here at the front. The amount of dust and stew in here as well, it might be worth me checking the air filter, see if I need to get a new air filter for it while it's all apart. So you've got the rubber sort of elbows on the top of these carbs here, and they're kind of held in with little springs. But because they go up into the air filter box and turn round, it can be a bit tricky just sort of feeding them out of this housing here. So my plan was not to actually take the cables, the throttle cables and everything off of this carburetor. I was hoping I could maybe just undo it from the inlets and give it a little bit of a rock out of place, just so that I can get into the part that I need to at the moment. But looking at it, I mean, it does look quite dirty, and I am hoping to get the rocker cover taken off so that I can give that a sand down and paint as well. So I'm just going to keep persevering and decide what level of strip down this is going to need at the moment. If you are going to attempt carburetor removal on these bikes, you need one of these. It's a long reach crosshead screwdriver here. It is very difficult to get into the inner carburetor clamps. This makes it so much easier. And one of the drawbacks of having this at the back of the lockup for space is obviously light. It's quite bright today, so I can see what I'm doing, but on a cloudy day it does get a bit dark in here, so I maybe should have brought a torch. So what I'm doing just now is, apart from banging my head on the handlebars, what I'm doing just now is I'm just undoing the clamps that are on the inlet rubbers, and then in order to lift the carburetors free, I'm going to have to take the cables out. So the choke cable, I've already done that, and I've decided, I've actually got a new old stock cable sitting in the shed at my house, because this cable here, when I'm putting the choke on, I have to hold it up in position. It's not got the lockout where you can leave it on, get your gear on while it's on choke and running. You kind of have to stand here and hold the choke in position, or the bike will just cut out while it's cold. So as I'm in the depths of it just now, I'll get that choke cable changed as well. Probably do that in the morning since I've left it at the house. But for today, all I'm going to do is take the carbs out, get the inlet rubber removed that I've got to change, and then basically just check the overall condition of everything else. I think a lot of it's just needing a wee wipe down and a clean. Like I say, the spillage of fuel, once it all gets wet and you're riding down the road, yeah, I did keep riding with a little fuel leak. It wasn't too bad. There was a bit of moisture there, but yeah, I'm going to have to clean everything down. I think a little bit of spray some of the bits with WD-40, and then a wee white cloth just to clean all the debris away. Because once it gets wet, like I say, it seems to attract all the dirt and grime and dust off the road. So it is a bit manky in here, so a little bit of clean's always beneficial. Right, so as you can see, I've got the carbs sort of rocked out of position here, and I can see the faulty inlet. It is looking quite wet. I'm going to run my finger around here, and you can actually, you can see it on that finger there. It's quite grimy, so there is quite a leak there. So it's basically just held in with two Allen bolts into the head. So providing they come out free enough, which given the fact that they've been absolutely saturated with fuel, hopefully they're not seized in there solid. So that's the next task. Fingers crossed they come out okay. So they have cracked. to be honest, it was probably stupid to be leaving these carbs in situ. It's kind of laziness. I should have just taken them off, but they're coming out anyway. And like I say, I'm just trying to do this the quickest way to get the bike back on the road. And that's the first one away. The second one, the lower one's actually easier to get into. Of course, if you're ever taking anything off of ports, you have to make sure nothing falls in here, because then you're in deep shit. That's the second one. We'll get them well clear out of the way so that nothing falls in. So this is the fending part here, and you can see a big crack there in the rubber, and it's like yeah, it's totally perished around the edges, as you can see. So when you squeeze it, you can see there's fuel seepage through that. But anyway, I'm glad I've got a spare, so I'm just going to change the one, like I say. But since the bike's going to be getting left like this, another top tip would be, don't leave anything sitting open that something can fall in, like I say. So we're going to just get a cloth, make sure there's nothing on your cloth, and that's just going to cover the hole there, the inlet port, just now. Of course, your other ones are all sitting open as well, despite the fact you've not taken the rubbers off. So we'll get another couple of cloths and we'll just cover everything up. Another thing I will say though, guys, is that the fending part, obviously this clamp here, this is what holds the carburetor on to the inlet rubber. I'll put that long reach, I'll put this long reach through the bike and into that screw there. I couldn't get it to turn, it was just far too tight. And I thought when we were using these that I would be able to get, because of it's got the head on it for a socket, I thought I'd be able to get a socket into there, but unfortunately there's a wee bit of damage to the bracket. It's just got a wee bit of a bend in it. You couldn't get the socket head in for that, and of course there's no way of bending that bracket back out whilst it's in the bike. So I thought I was going to have all sorts of headaches, but what I did was I loosened off the other three and I just gave the carbs a wee rock, and because of all the fuel in there and the fact that it was so wet, the carburetor in that one, although the clamp was still stuck on tight, the carburetor just sucked out. So yeah, don't give up, guys. Always just try everything, because sometimes you just get lucky, like I've just been in this instance. So yeah, we're gonna just pack up for today, and then we'll finish this video off tomorrow. I've actually got work this afternoon, so because I've got myself so black, I think I'll just go home, have a bit of a wash up, head to work, and we'll pick this up in the morning. Right, it's day 2, and I said yesterday I was going to change the choke cable because I have to hold the choke up. It doesn't stay in position. But I don't know if any of the rest of you do this, but I often buy stuff, leave it in a tool shed or whatever, and then I just can't find it again when I need it. So I'm at that frustrated point where I know it's in here somewhere, I just have to lay my hands on it. So I've got so much handy stuff in here. It's kind of, this is one of my dumping grounds. It's actually an old air raid shelter, believe it or not, and I've just utilised it as a brick built shed. There we have it. There we have it. Some cobwebs and that. Inside the packet it is actually, believe it or not, brand new, good condition. It's just been sitting in here for quite some time. So yeah, we'll get that fitted when we get up to the garage. Here we go again. Right, so underneath this choke lever here, there's a 17 nut. So you can just pull the clutch cable out and just sort of undo it. And then it's not even metal, it's plastic, so obviously it's not too tight. And then you can just sort of undo it from the cable all the way down. And then you can pull the cable up like that. And that'll just feed all the way through. Like, it's just like a wee gap in it, and you can just pull it out there. And then, checking how it's routed, comes through the headstock there, in through the frame. It looks fairly simple, so we'll just follow on with that with the new one. An easy change this. Obviously, you keep the nut. And then you just feed that through, just like that. We'll follow the route before we forget how it was done. Straight through there, and in through the frame, and then we'll just hook this back up. This one seems to be, there we are. I was about to say it seems thicker, but no, it's not. We'll just get the spanner out of the way. You don't want to drop the nut because it will just follow on through down the cable, you'll lose it. So you just tighten that up with your fingers. And all I'm going to do is just give it a tiny wee turn with the spanner. Like I say, you can just move that cable out of the way. And you can just lock it off like that. And then that's it, it's not going anywhere, guys. So, I mean, despite the fact that it's not connected at the carburetor side, you can still see that that one stays in position. It doesn't just fall through. So yeah, that's going to make a massive difference. I don't know what went wrong with this one, but it just seemed to lose its ratchet. So obviously once it was connected, it was just pulling back down. But it's an old bike, it's a 1996, and you know, it's got a bit of age to it, so you can only expect that things will start going wrong. But yeah, an easy fix there. And now we'll just get the inlet and we'll start putting that on. Right guys, so this is the replacement part, and obviously it's a used part. It's not brand new. They're over 200 quid for the set of these, so if you can find used ones that are in good condition, then that's probably advisable. It seems a hell of a lot of money, but most inlet rubbers, we did them on the Virago not too long ago, and they were just a rubber piece. As you can see, this is actually a machined piece with a rubber on the end there. So yeah, it's probably just more expensive to manufacture, but we'll get this on. It's a simple case, it's just the 2 bolts, direct replacement for the last one. So yeah, let's get the cloths out of the way, and remember, don't let any debris fall down the ports. Right, so we've given everything a wee wipe down, and we talked earlier on in the video about changing the rocker cover, taking it off and giving it a clean up in the paint, to be honest. But what I've decided is I'm going to leave that as a winter job, because as you can see, the bolts at the front section here, they're difficult to get into because of the oil cooler. And given the fact that I just want to get out and ride this bike, I don't want to disturb that oil cooler at this time. So Everything's kind of cleaned up with regards to the rubbers and the clips and new screws put in where they were chewed up. So yeah, it's basically just a case now of get the bike out into the sunlight so we can see what we're doing, and we'll try and get these carburetors into the rubbers, tighten everything up, and it's pretty much tank back on and good to go. Right, so we've got the carbs all in, they're tightened in as well, and now it's just a case of get the air box on in position. So it's getting these hoses all fed through, and then you just pop on. But at the front there is a hose underneath that has to go into the air box. So just grab that. It's right at the front. Right at the front of the air box. You can't miss it. It's just one section there. So we'll get this. Just give it a little bit of a push, and they just sink down onto the carbs. And then using your trusty screwdriver, you just give them a wee beef up, because obviously with vibrations the airbox can work its way loose if you don't tighten it on. Right, Connie. And it's time for the fuel tank now, guys, and that rubber hose goes down through the tank in the bottom. I think it goes down this side, but so remember, it's just a reversal of what we did to remove it. So you have to get the fuel hose on, one little clip, and it's got, well, on this bike anyway, it's a green plastic clip. I don't know if that changes for different years or whatever, but so one clip, one hose, turn the tap on, and basically bolt the tank into position, and that's you. Right, Connie. So we've not tried starting it yet. Let's hope it's okay. Wanting to go. Right, so I'm going to be totally honest. I've just taken it apart and that off camera because although I put the choke cable on, I forgot to attach it to the carbs. Rookie mistake. So let's hope now with the choke working that she fires up. Right guys, so at least that's that sorted. We've had it running for a wee while now, and we've checked for leaks. Everything seems good. Starting on the button, she's idling really well. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to end the video here. So for now, thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.